going to comment on any of this stuff until this took place. Watch what she said. The entire internet has reacted to this. Here's Brittany Griner. They're playing against the Indiana Fever, and look what she's saying. Go ahead, Rob.
For the ticky-tack fouls that we were talking about earlier today.
That pretty much sounds like trash. If you want fans, if you want your league to grow, act like a professional, okay? The league already started underwater, and instead of fixing it, they're just poking more holes in the boat. And think about it, Brittany Griner talking all that trash. We traded the merchant of death for your ass, and you're out there.
Vincent Oshana, co-host of Patrick Bet-David's show, delivered a powerful response to Brittany Griner's recent comments about Caitlin Clark, calling out what he described as blatant hypocrisy and racism. The segment has quickly gone viral, with many praising the PBD team for saying what others have been hesitant to express. Oshana didn't hold back in criticizing both Griner's behavior and the WNBA's silence on the issue. The controversy has also reignited debate over the U.S. decision to trade a high-profile arms dealer for Griner, raising questions about whether that deal was justified in light of her.
If you want your league to grow, act like a professional, okay? The league already started underwater, and instead of fixing it, they're just poking more holes in the boat. And think about it, Brittany Griner talking all that trash. We traded the merchant of death for your ass, and you're out there talking shit.
Vincent Oshana from the Patrick Bet-David podcast delivered a scathing critique of Brittany Griner that many feel was long overdue. In a segment that's rapidly gaining traction online, Oshana and the PBD crew addressed what they called a racially charged attack by Griner against Caitlin Clark, and they didn't pull any punches. Their blunt assessment echoed the frustration of countless Americans who see a deeper issue at play. This isn't just about one incident on the court. It's about the WNBA's broader culture and the troubling environment it has fostered. One where hostility toward its own rising star seems not only tolerated but normalized. The controversy erupted after Griner was seen on camera following a foul out in a game against Clark's Indiana Fever, allegedly calling Clark trash and referring to her as a fixin'.
And then the other quote, Rob, then I'm going to wrap this up and then I'm going to go to Adam. Put the quote of Brittany Griner, what she said about the NBA. This is so funny how all this stuff works out, right? She said, this is from Brittany, every time we play her, there's this commotion, like this loud rumbling from the stand. Turns out it's people, thousands of them, just sitting there, watching on purpose.
Let's be absolutely clear. If Caitlin Clark had made even a vaguely similar comment about a black player, her career would be in serious jeopardy. She'd be hit with suspensions, fines, mandatory sensitivity training, and likely pressured into a public apology tour. But when Brittany Griner directs racially charged remarks at Clark, the WNBA remains completely silent. The double standard is glaring, and frankly, it's an insult to anyone paying attention.
Brittany Griner voiced frustration in a recent interview, claiming that Caitlin Clark is ruining what used to make the WNBA great. Wait for this.
Empty stands?
Let me just WNBA games used to be a chill, quiet place. You could bring your laptop and relax, maybe even get a little work done. But now, it's like there's a large gathering of people watching us from the stands. Some of them are yelling crazy shit about what they're seeing, putting unfair pressure on us to score.
This is where Vincent Oshana stepped up and delivered the truth during the podcast. He tore into Griner's hypocrisy and called out the WNBA for its warped priorities. Oshana highlighted the absurdity of the situation. A player who was once traded for a notorious Russian arms dealer, nicknamed the Merchant of Death, is now making racially charged comments about the very player who's single-handedly putting the WNBA back on the map. The irony couldn't be more blatant.
Okay, Rob, can you verify that this is what she said on the mom-and-pop WNBA model? That she's sick of the and then she said, the whole thing is toxic. I saw a guy with his daughter in the crowd, both of them yelling, couldn't hear what they were saying exactly.
Oshana's takedown was sharp and unapologetic. He called out the sense of entitlement displayed by Griner and players like Angel Reese, who act as if the league owes them something, despite earning millions and living a dream most athletes would kill for. The disconnect is striking. They're well compensated to play the sport they love, yet still position themselves as victims simply because the league's biggest rising star happens to be white. The irony, as Oshana pointed out, is hard to ignore.
Ever going to work and never make money. And this is exactly what Caitlin Clark gets for bending the knee. You guys remember when she said, when we lost all respect for her, when she said, I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. And the more we can elevate black women, this is going to be a beautiful thing. That's when it was all over. And Angel Reese and Brittany Griner, they walk around with the league owes them something. Even Ryan Clark's attitude as if, bro, where's the victimhood? These are freaking millionaires. Like, what are you talking about? It's attitude, it's no humility, just entitlement, and that's not confidence.
The Patrick Bet-David team also tackled a point the mainstream media has largely avoided: the failure of Caitlin Clark's appeasement strategy. They pointed to her earlier comments about white privilege and the need to elevate black women, remarks that came off as performative and, frankly, cringeworthy. Oshana and the PBD crew didn't hold back, calling that the moment they lost respect for Clark. And they weren't alone. Many viewers saw it as a misguided attempt to gain favor in a league that clearly has no intention of returning the respect. Clark tried to play the politically correct game, thinking that if she acknowledged her supposed privilege and said all the right things, she'd be embraced by her peers. Instead, it backfired, making her appear weak and giving her critics even more ammunition. Players like Griner and Reese saw that vulnerability and capitalized on it, interpreting Clark's humility not as an effort to build bridges, but as an admission of guilt. The PBD team broke this down with brutal clarity, showing how this dynamic reveals the deeper dysfunction within the WNBA. Despite having the most marketable player in women's basketball history, the league continues to struggle financially, and the reason is clear. Instead of protecting and promoting Clark, their biggest draw, the WNBA has created a culture where attacking her is not only tolerated, but practically required to gain credibility with veteran players. Oshana's point about the Griner trade was especially cutting. The U.S. literally exchanged one of the world's most dangerous arms dealers, the Merchant of Death, to bring Griner home from a Russian prison, where she was held on drug charges. And now, rather than showing any gratitude, Griner is making racially charged comments about the one player who's keeping her league relevant. The timing makes the situation even worse. With Clark currently sidelined due to injury, WNBA viewership is likely to plummet, offering the league a painful reminder of how dependent it is on her presence. Yet instead of rallying around her, players like Griner seem determined to alienate her. The PBD team also exposed the glaring double standard in the WNBA's response to controversy. When unconfirmed accusations of racist remarks toward Angel Reese surfaced, comments no one actually heard, the league rushed to launch an investigation. But when there's clear, documented video evidence of Griner making racially charged statements about Clark on live radio, the league remains silent. The hypocrisy couldn't be more obvious. Silence speaks volumes. The message is unmistakable. Racism is only condemned when it fits a certain narrative. This double standard isn't limited to the Griner incident. It's been a recurring theme throughout Caitlin Clark's career. She's endured relentless physical and verbal abuse on the court, including getting poked in the eye by DeJane Carrington, being targeted with cheap shots, and facing nonstop criticism simply for being popular. And when Clark or her coach dared to speak out about the treatment or officiating, they were effectively told to sit down and be quiet. The PBD crew nailed the core issue. The WNBA is sabotaging itself. You can't build a successful entertainment product when your established stars resent and attack your most marketable player. It's business suicide disguised as social justice. The league has somehow convinced itself that supporting Clark diminishes others, when in reality, her success could lift the entire league if it were embraced properly. Vincent Oshana's insight on entitlement and attitude hit hard. Successful sports leagues know that their job is to entertain fans and build compelling narratives. The WNBA, on the other hand, seems more focused on preaching social agendas than delivering quality basketball. That's not confidence, it's arrogance without results to back it up. The comparison to other leagues was especially damning. In the NBA, players may disagree or get into heated moments, but they don't make it their mission to tear down their biggest stars. LeBron James doesn't attack Steph Curry. He recognizes that Curry's success is good for the league